Hi, everyone. I am Jonathan. I work with TechSoup in the customer success team. I specifically work on our major market development team that works with large organizations with multiple locations, specializing in bulk registration, bulk orders, and anything we can do to help kind of streamline the process for organizations like yours that have so many people that are connected. So if you haven't heard of much about TechSoup, TechSoup is a nonprofit. What we do is as our mission is to build a dynamic bridge that leverages technology to enable connections and innovate solutions for a more equitable planet. What that means is we work with large tech companies to help facilitate nonprofit programs and help make sure nonprofits are able to function in the world at the same level as a for-profit business by getting access to technology that would normally be far above the budget range of a nonprofit. So our impact, we've worked with, this says 993,000, but these numbers are a few years old. So we've worked with over 1 million nonprofits at this point. We've helped we've helped provide technology and funding close to beyond $10 billion worth for organizations around the world. We work in 236 countries. We speak 39 languages. We have 71 global partners that help us out. And, I don't know what that last one means, but we also have 55 million annual touch points of education and engagement. A little more specifically, working with the Greek Orthodox Archdiocese, we currently work with 227 parishes and 4 other organizations, which I'm told is 42% of all of the parishes, which is really exciting. In the past 2 years since I've been working directly with your organization, I know I have personally created at least 150 of those organization accounts. And it's been a real pleasure to help whenever I can. So TechSoup, we offer donation programs for over 80 donor partners, providing discounted technology, services, and hardware. We're going to take a little time to go over what some of those are. Here is just kind of a general look at kind of big idea names we have, and we're going to touch on a few of these specifically. So Microsoft is one of our biggest programs. We have 2 Microsoft programs we do. We have a Microsoft desktop offerings, and then we have Microsoft Cloud. For the Microsoft desktop, the way it works is we have a 2-year kind of allotment period, and within that year you're able to request certain products. Depending on when you first placed your order is when that 2-year cycle is. It's easy to figure out once we have you set up within TechSoup. There are a number of different products that are still available through this donation program, but it has shrunk down to be in favor of the cloud services, which we'll look at now. So through the cloud services, there is full access to everything Microsoft offers through their cloud programs, but we offer it and help facilitate their nonprofit validation process. So it's anything you could get through Microsoft, you can get directly through us. In addition, we provide services like consultations and kind of setup and anything else you might need. We also work with Google for Nonprofits. The way this program works is you are able to get validated for Google for Nonprofits, which allows access to Google Workspaces, which used to be called G Suite, Google Ads, YouTube for Nonprofits, and then the Google Search donations, which allows for your organization to have a button on Google. If someone searches the name, there will be a button that'll pop up in the Google search that'll say donate to this organization. It also provides several other products which are a little less used, but these are big ones we like to mention. We have licenses for both cloud and desktop Adobe products. For the desktop products, we have both Acrobat and Photoshop Premiere. There's prices listed here, and these are kind of updated as new ones come out. So right now it's listing the 2022 version of Acrobat, but I believe that will update soon when a new version is coming out. In terms of the cloud, we offer Creative Cloud at a discounted price. There's an admin fee you pay up front, and then a discounted monthly or yearly fee you would pay directly to Adobe. The version we have listed here is for the single member, but there is also a version for if you need multiple licenses. It's listed as being an education one, but any organization is able to request it. And it's great for if, like I said, if you have multiple people that need to use Adobe Online. So our next big offering is QuickBooks. Currently, we are only offering QuickBooks Online, but we have discounted licenses for QuickBooks Online Plus and Advanced. I personally find this to be one of the most exciting offers we have. So for QuickBooks Online Plus, we offer a $75 yearly membership, which is $75 for QuickBooks Online Plus is about what the monthly payment would be going directly through QuickBooks. So it's a massive discount for QuickBooks Online. This is only for the kind of base feature. If you need QuickBooks Online payroll, that is additional a payment to QuickBooks afterwards. And we also offer a migration service if you are already using online and want to switch to a QuickBooks through TechSoup, or if you're using the desktop and want to switch to online. Okay, so Grant Station is one of the many kind of web-based grant finding softwares we offer. It's a service you sign up for, and it's a kind of centralized place to go and find any available grants that are available, and it provides tools for setting up kind of quicker grant writing, knowing what you want to do, and it's an extremely helpful. The normal retail price on this is about $700. Through TechSoup, you can get it for just under $200, and then twice a year we offer a big promo on this product, which drops that price in half to just $100, and that's for a 1-year subscription. I think the next promo for this should be this fall. If anyone's interested, feel free to let our team know, and we can definitely direct you and let you know when that next promo happens. Okay, hardware. Our hardware is a pretty robust program right now. We have kind of two different versions of what we do. We either provide access to discounted rates, and that's for Dell, Lenovo, and HP. It's free to get those discounts. You just come, you request through our website, you get a link to those companies' kind of internal discounted catalogs, and you can request anything you want through there. Or we have, for even cheaper prices, refurbished hardware that you would request directly through TechSoup. There's desktops, laptops, tablets, monitors, mouses, headsets, anything you could need for setting up your home office or an in-person office. So additional services on top of products, we also offer courses for trainings, learning how to use anything we offer, and then also just kind of how to run nonprofits. I know there's always nowadays with the kind of switch to the digital world, a lot of new programs that we aim for teaching organizations how to use so they can get the best from out of them. Webinars are a lot like the courses, but they our broader topics, they tend to be free as well, whereas the courses will be paid. We have a great forum, kind of a community location where organizations can come ask their questions and either hear back from other organizations with the same questions. We also have teams that monitor these, try to provide answers, direct you in the right direction. We have a website development tool that we have set up. There's a great kind of blanking on what we call it, but it's a one page you can go to. You type in your organization's website, it'll give you a health check on your website. It'll recommend, it'll tell you what part of your website are working well, how to optimize for search engines, anything like that. It'll even recommend specific services to request if you want to help develop out your website. We also provide tech support. It could be one-off, one-time, spot fixes. It can be long, standing. You can kind of find a standing help desk team to work with through us as well. So as examples for some of the events and webinars I mentioned, here's a couple that are coming up that I thought might be of interest. These are all kind of introductory, great ones to kind of start out with. One's kind of an overview of the training programs we have and the offerings that would go along with those, specifically for staff and volunteers within an organization. The second one I have listed here for March 8th is a kind of overview on AWS, the Amazon Web Services, what they do specifically and how it can connect with New Relic, which is another program that kind of intertwines really well with AWS. And our last one is kind of a quarterly thing we do, which is a great starting point. It's the new membership orientation. You can come, a lot of our program managers will be on that call, and you can have specific one-on-one kind of questions with them to get the best information on any products we have. You can also find a full list of events at that link there at the end. So one of the great things about my team and what we do is, since we work directly with organizations like the Greek Orthodox Archdiocese, is we set up special systems for you to register to help get you past the normal registration process, help speed up your registration. So what we have right now is we have a process set up with a form you would fill out that comes directly to my team, and we register your account, set you up, and get you hopefully going within the day. If you're interested, you're looking to access that, you can email internet@goarch.org. I've also included a link to the internal website on your internet team's website that'll get you that information as well. And you could also always reach out directly to our team for any questions at mmd@techsoup.org.
If you could maybe explain the difference between the admin fee and the actual cost of a product, just so people can understand that.
That's right. So different products have different admin fees. When you see on the website, it'll list the administration fees, what we call the admin fee. That is the price that is paid up front that goes directly to TechSoup to help us kind of maintain what we're doing, keep us afloat. A portion of that, depending on the product, can also go back to the donor partner. Some products will have a admin fee, and then we'll have an additional fee to the organization after. Adobe is a good example of that. And then some products have no administration fee at all. And all of that, will always come out to less than what it would cost to buy the product commercially. Everything we do is about getting these products into nonprofits' hands for as little as possible.
Great. I want to mention one thing. So one benefit that I know a lot of parishes have had, and I just want to underline it a little bit, has been the email offerings with either Office 365 or Google Workspace. A couple of years ago, we decided to retire our email hosting service, and that's when we, I think, first partnered with Jonathan and his team, and they made it an absolute cinch to get registered with, first of all, get registered with TechSoup, and then get registered for the parishes with either Microsoft for nonprofits or Google for nonprofits. And from there, it was such a breeze, really easy to get those email accounts migrated to either of those platforms. If any of you are thinking of that, of using some type of hosted email solution with either Google or Microsoft, that's it's been a tremendous benefit to all of them. So I want to mention that. I don't know if Teo has anything to say, but I want to introduce Teo Nikolakis, who's our Chief Information Officer for the Archdiocese. He does a lot of work in this sphere, obviously, and he's been using TechSoup for a long time as well. So I don't know if you have anything you want to share.
Good afternoon, everybody. I just want to say hello. I'm so glad to see such a great representation from the different parishes, both live and those who will watch it on recording. I can't say enough good things about the TechSoup partnership. So really, it's the end of expensive prices for both software, hardware, and services. And it's a great way to maximize our collective stewardship of individuals' donations. The thing that I will really want to make an important impression is email is probably one of the most basic and fundamental services, and many parishes now are making the jump to Google Workspace. Again, as Jonathan said, it was formerly called G Suite or the Microsoft 365 environment. The one thing that I really want to impress upon all the parishes that are looking at this is to please ensure that you're not looking at the free service that Microsoft and Google offer, because those services lack the level of security that we want all the parishes to have. If we remember, we're all stewards of donor data. We're stewards of sensitive information, both the employees that work in the parish and also the parishioners who are stewards of that. So making sure that the right licensing requirements with Microsoft, which is typically going to be an additional cost to make sure that you have the advanced email security that does the email scanning, and that you have somebody knowledgeable and competent to do the required security configurations for best practices, are put in place. So we will be putting together some additional series of webinars, but Jonathan, I'll ask you to respond in a second. My recollection is that TechSoup does offer similar services, because for either hardening a Microsoft 365 or some professional services along those lines, because where I sit in my seat is the last thing we want to have happen is for a parish to get breached. And we have had several incidents per year where emails are coming in or going out theoretically from clergy accounts. They're spoofed, and individuals fall prey to phishing. So it's not just the services, but it's implementing these services the right way that are what we would like to see from the Archdiocesan perspective to keep everyone safe. So I don't know, Jonathan, if you can comment about maybe some of those professional services and configurations that you do with G Suite and Office 365 that parishes can take advantage of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we offer kind of every level within both of those kind of environments, and once you've kind of gone in and request them, there are additional services we offer that can come in and help make sure you have them configured to be as secure as possible. I know on my team directly, there is one member who is great to talk to if you have questions on security. It's a big fascination of his, and he has a great kind of list of everything you want to do. There is also within the courses, I believe, a section on specific kind of security questions, and there are additional products outside of Microsoft and Google that you can buy or request through our program to kind of help add an extra layer onto what is built in. And of course, anything you can request through us, we offer some service to help implement, make sure it's set up with best practices and everything you need to keep that information that needs to be secure.
The question is, should I register for an account with the Archdiocese if I already have a TechSoup account? So what we're presenting is not a separate registration. We just have made the process easier for those who haven't registered yet. So since you're already registered with TechSoup, you're good, and you probably are counted as part of the 42% of the parishes. I don't have the list in front of me now, but I'm sure you're on that list already. If you are not using TechSoup yet, we would provide you a link to be able to register quickly. And like Jonathan said, they have like a 24-hour or less turnaround to get approved. Whereas if you go the traditional route and register, it can sometimes take several days.
Yeah, especially right now, unfortunately, our normal kind of qualification team is very behind schedule. So if you come through ours, we will get you, easily within a week, we will get you set up and running. If you're not sure if you have an account set up yet, if you don't know if your account's still active, there's the email that's on the last page that comes directly to my team. You can always reach out to us. Reach out to us at mmd@techsoup.org, and we will check. And if you're already there, we'll help you through the process of getting connected or resetting password, whatever you need to access it. If we can't find it, we will direct you to the link, and we will get you set up with a new account right away.
How could we get in touch with the right person for the right services, or the guy that your colleague that loves this kind of stuff?
So if that's a priority, I would say go ahead and use that email I mentioned again, which the mmd@TechSoup. That'll get you right to us, and then let us know what you're after, and we can direct you to the right location. If it's not something I have the direct answer for. Well, the best thing you can do is just reach out directly to our team, and we will help you however we can.
Great. And then maybe a question for Teo, developing those guidelines. Do you have anything more to say about that, or timeline, or what?
I wish I had a timeline. We talked about this at Clergy Lady during one of the technology sessions. So this is something we do owe to you, if you will. We have been following a hardening procedure at the Archdiocese. And I think what I can tell you right off the top is, number one, we want to make sure that all the parishes have at least what's called the E3 plus the advanced security license, and that will give you the desktop applications. And it also provides some additional email scanning and other security. And that's really what you want. And there's a licensing level, and Microsoft changes it all the time, which is the problem, as Jonathan is nodding. So I literally, I can tell you a licensing level 6 months ago, and it's changed with the same name. But you really want to have what's called Microsoft Defender, that is going to open links for you, so that way your computer isn't compromised. But that's something that I would consult with the TechSoup folks to say, we had this session with the Archdiocese, and what they told us is, we need the desktop apps, which is typically E3 nonprofit. And then what we would also like to do is ensure we have the additional security bundle, so that way the apps are protected on mobile devices. And they're also doing all the antivirus and malware scanning for any documents that come through email or that we open, and they'll configure that for you. So that's sort of bucket one. The second bucket is, there are certain best practices of things that should be disabled when the Microsoft or the Google accounts are set up. And that's something that I presume the TechSoup folks should have a checklist on. And if not, Jonathan, maybe we could talk sidebar, and we could put together a little hit list, and that way provide some guidance that if a Greek Orthodox parish calls, they have what that checklist is of items. What you will find is, in my experience, we have really fantastic volunteers that will come and set up a Google account, or they'll set up a Microsoft account on behalf of the parish. But what you need to know is, setting up the account means that account has vulnerabilities automatically. As much as you'd like to think, they do not provide you with a secure environment when you set up an account with Google and Microsoft. Somebody has to go through, and they have to go through different configuration choices to make it secure. So you might get email, you might have it with your parish domain, but you've all of a sudden opened yourself up to some security vulnerability. So that's a big priority. The second bucket that I would say is, and Jonathan, I haven't looked recently to see if you have any partnerships with either Symantec, Sophos, or one of these providers that do what's called not just antivirus and malware, but EDR is the new catchphrase. So it's endpoint detection and response, or next gen AV is another way that it's often called. And as part of your monthly subscription, what they do is they actually monitor the computers remotely in case there's any malicious or anomalous activity that's going on. And they can prevent ransomware from encrypting your computer like you've seen in the news. It's a very real concern. So now imagine you have the administrator's computer that has all of the databases. They open an email and boom, all of a sudden that computer becomes locked and encrypted. Well, you just lost all your parishioner data. So these are things that are really a vital concern that we don't think about, but programs like what we're providing here with TechSoup can provide you with this incredible resources, a one-stop shop to help you with discounted software licensing, but also the expertise to put it into play the right way. So I hope that answered the question. So you gave Jonathan more work too.
we definitely do have several different kind of endpoint protection programs. I know we have Norton offerings. I know we have a program called Bitdefender, which does a lot of that, but is kind of boutique and it's meant for smaller organizations, which might work well for particularly a smaller parish. So there are several options on our website. If you go, there's a tab that'll say product catalog right at the top. When you click that, you'll see a secondary drop down, which will give you the option to sort by either donor and company or by category. And if you click category, you will find sections that are specifically labeled for antivirus, for security, and it'll be a very comprehensive list of everything we have to offer. If you're looking through there and you're not sure what is going to give you the best kind of service for what you need, that's another time to reach out to our team, and we can provide some information on what we suggest, and also as was suggested, I would love to spend some time and get a kind of great starting kit for what we would recommend for specifically the parishes to set up.
So maybe that's one thing that we could deliver. So let's say we were to say 60 days. So it's February 22nd, putting ourselves on the clock. So maybe by April 22nd, Jonathan, maybe you, me, Jamil could take it offline and we could put a recommended bundle together. And that way it provides something very specific for parishes. Like, if you're looking for an email solution, Microsoft or Google solution, and we recommend that you do the implementation or the configuration services, right? And then we could have the AV portion for antivirus, et cetera, et cetera. And that way it provides parishes with some guidance, because oftentimes a lot of transition, volunteers, folks are busy, and the more turnkey that we can make it, the easier, the higher the likelihood that this will be adopted.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and that plays into, it looks like John has a question. What are some other examples of how parishes are benefiting from TechSoup? I don't know if you have any stories or something.
So I know another product that has been popular, and this is beyond just Greek Orthodox Archdiocese. I work closely with a couple other large religious organizations, and I know our offering for Zoom has become very popular as kind of a way to platform, or a platform for any services that need to be given in a digital space, that need to kind of host beyond what is able to be done in person. I know the QuickBooks is always kind of one of my go-to offers, like to recommend, just because it is such a massive discount that it makes, I don't know how to describe how much sense it makes to request that and save that money. The other big ones, I know the technology or the desktop hardware offers are always great. One I really love is the mobile beacon program we offer, which provides hotspots, which can kind of help for internet service, for kind of mobile uses. If any programs within the parishes are kind of out and about, we've worked pretty heavily with kind of food pantries to try to make sure they're able to kind of be mobile and use these hotspots to be able to access whatever kind of services they need from wherever they're providing their services. It's the kind of thing where we could sit here all day and there's a product for anything you need. There's an offer for every possible kind of problem. And if there's not, let us know and we will make sure it becomes one.
Yeah, I would encourage everyone, if you're not familiar with TechSoup at all, or even if you're a little bit familiar with some of the things, just go to their website at any time, go to TechSoup.org and start browsing. I mean, they have a really well-organized site broken out by different categories, and their resources are all pretty clearly laid out there. So check it out, explore, and then like Teo said, we'll work on putting together kind of a more consolidated set of recommendations for you as well.
Jonathan, can I ask a question? So I'm going to put my former parish council president hat on. It seems to me that if I'm sitting in the audience and I'm listening to this, the first thing that I would want to know is, does my parish have a TechSoup account? So I might be either a new parish priest, or again, I might be a new parish council member or working in the parish. So what's the first step that I need to do?
So with the process that me and Jamil have set up, the best thing you can do is, if you don't know if you have an account or you think you might, is just to email the internet@goarch.org email. And you will be given it's a DocuSign power form. So it's a form you fill out with information that would give me everything I need to set up your account. And that comes straight to me. And then I do all the digging on our back end. I see if account exists. And if I find one, I can add a new agent to it. If it's an old account that's been years out of date, the person on there is no longer with the parish, I can help remove them. I can help update the information. I can, if there's no account, we set up a brand new account. It's kind of what we've set up is really a one-stop shop. It's, if you have any question, if you have any question on whether or not you are registered, that's the best place to start.
Yeah,
because that gets you in contact with me. That kind of starts me to automatically right away see if there's an account, get an account set up. If there is an account and you're already on it and you've just forgot your password, I will email you and say, hey, I found an account, you're on it. If you don't have access, here's how to reset your password. And then from there, it's any question you have is open, and just feel free to bug me with as many emails as you want, and we'll get whatever we can for you.
You just email internet@goarch.org.
Yeah, and that if you're 90% sure you have an account and you want to just kind of streamline it, you can always email us at the mmd@techsoup.org email. That comes right to my team, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. So either works. If you email me directly and I realize I need more information and I need you to go through the form process, I will just direct you back to Jamil in that email. If you go through that process and it turns out you're already set up, then you've still found your way to me, and I will work through it with you.
Yeah, and we want to just be involved, just to have some level of vetting, just so John, we know who the parishes are, we know who the clergy are, and the different parishes. So we're the first level of just checking in the process.
And to add on to that, I will say that we can have multiple users connected to each organization account. So when you sign up, you create a member profile, or if you go through this process, I create it for you. And then your member profile can be connected to as many organizations as you work with, even outside of the archdiocese. If you work at a local Goodwill, you can be connected to their account as well. So we can have as many local people. If you want to have a longtime administrator for the organization on the account, you can. If you want to have the the council, if you want to have your kind of head person, whoever, we can have as many people connected to account as possible, or as needed. I think it's a better way to say that.
Over the past several years, TechSoup has been offering different types of services. And one of the things that I continually hear from parishes is the occasional need for tech support or things that make the parish run. And our parish communities have done such an amazing job of leveraging volunteers. But TechSoup does offer services that would provide help desk support. So you could pay, and I don't know what it is, I haven't looked at the service in detail, but if you needed a help desk, the parish priest, the folks in the office could call a telephone number and they could provide virtual tech support. Like, it's really the benefit a lot of big companies have. And you could do that at what I presume is an extremely reasonable rate for the parish. And why that's important is you don't have to leech on the volunteers all the time. And it provides a standard competence that would provide that level of IT expertise. The second thing is, I perceive that backups and the due diligence that all parishes should be doing isn't often taken care of, because when somebody's volunteering their time, they're really not able to do the type of due diligence, like not only are the systems backing up, but are those backups good? You don't find out sometimes until there's a problem. You don't want to be in a case where, so-and-so clicked on a link, the computers are now encrypted, you're being asked to pay a ransom, and you thought you had backups, but you actually don't. So these are the types of services that TechSoup can provide, or at least provide a quote for your parish council to consider. And I strongly, strongly recommend looking at their live help desk. They'll also do some security monitoring if need be. And then they can also take care of the system backups and maintenance. So again, to be able to do that at what I presume is an affordable and reasonable rate, it behooves a parish to look into these types of things, because we are all custodians of other people's sensitive data, our parishioners. So we have a fiduciary responsibility and a governance responsibility of this data that we're maintaining, to make sure that we're handling it the right way and protecting it as best as we can. So again, I can't emphasize enough to look at TechSoup from that other layer as well, and to feel free to explore those services too.
And I believe that's the managed IT section.
Yeah, there are a couple different options for that. There's managed IT, which you can sign up for, and it's basically like hiring an IT team that comes in and is able to do whatever you need. We also do offer a one-time quick fix help desk service, which I believe is just a $55 fee for if there's just a single thing you can't figure out. It's you're trying to set up a new software, you're trying to, your email stopped working, you're not sure why. We have that one-time fee, and what they will do is they will come in and they will fix it. If they get in there and realize, oh, this is a bigger thing, they will also then kind of do a consultation to be like, here, for a bigger fix like this, here's what we can do. And they again offer services to just be a standing help desk option. If you need something kind of on call at any time, they can be that as well. Yeah, and then everything we've talked about today, the quickest way to get access to it, if you know what you're after, is to reach out to me. But you can also just go to our website, browse through the different tabs, and everything we offer is listed there. It might be hard to find sometimes because our website is ever evolving and ever improving, but if there's something you're after, you should hopefully be able to find a solution through TechSoup. One more thing I would want to add to kind of go with that a little bit is there are certain things that might fall under a parish that could potentially get a second account. I believe we had talked at some point, Jamil, about cemeteries possibly being able to have their own accounts, or if there's ever a school attached to a parish, that is definitely able to get its own account. Mm-hmm. Certain things do qualify as their own account for their own accounts. Other things might fall under being a program. It would have to be lumped into the main account. But if I'm I'm always willing to do the investigation, talk with our eligibility teams and see what we can do to, if there's a clear enough reason for why a parish should have multiple accounts to be able to get access, we will find it and we'll do what we can.
What percentage of parishes are taking advantage of this again? 42%?
42%.
I think that's just fantastic. I have to just make a comment. I was not aware that the adoption rate was so high. And I just want to commend, either those parishes that are attending that are already TechSoup members or exploring. This is all just being smart about our donor dollars and being responsible with the money that's being entrusted to us. You can save 20, 30, 50, sometimes 75% off of what you're paying for, basically what's electricity today, all these essential software and services. So Jamil, kudos to you, and Jonathan, it's been so nice having you on board as our account rep to move this forward. And I just want to credit and acknowledge how much we appreciate Jamil and what happens in the Department of Internet Ministries. I see Nick Kasimakis, I'm assuming Nico Kuritsis and Andy Constantino with the great work that you do to provide these tools and services to parishes. So really just kudos for taking the leadership and making this a successful program.
Thank you, Teo. Thanks for all you do as well. So email us at internet@goarch.org and email Jonathan at mmd@techsoup.org. Thank you all. Have a blessed day, a blessed start to your Lent, and we hope to work with you all soon.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much.